Imagine we were on a stage of life. Like actors, we are trading and communicating information in this stage. It's dark. We go down further and further deep into the ocean. Down in the depths, there's a hydrothermic vent, ejecting minerals, and those minerals are made of different chemicals, and each one is a complex web of molecules all meshed together, and of those there are atoms and there are electrons and particles within those which are trading energy with one another. Now, at this depth, there is extreme pressure, there is extreme heat. There's not necessarily any reason for life devoid of the sun, or any reason why life should occur. At some point in time, basic biological chemical molecules emerge, which for some reason started to develop relationships with each other. After that, basic proteins and the sort of chemical side of the foundations of life were beginning. There was no reason for this step to just jump into what we would call life, as in sense of conscious biological entities which are have perhaps a self-interest or a modus operandi. They are trading energy and trying to get into a kind of balance, I mean, to not blur the realms of chemistry and biology and physics. Different atoms are trading different electrons in the context of physical forces. But at some point, life in single-celled organisms did emerge. At first it was based on RNA, and then later, which was more stable, but then later DNA emerged, and then which was slightly more unstable, but could lead to different mutations. If you're familiar with the work of Richard Dawkins, he can go into that on a much deeper level than I can. But what I'm trying to get at is that there are two kinds of what we would call memes in modern human parlance, which are ideas or concepts that recreate themselves in the way that DNA creates itself. Of course, nothing close to human intelligence at this point in time exists, and I'm just using the idea of memes as a concept for us to use. One meme was completely predatory, while the other, we will see later on, had a very different nature. When you look at the early oceans of prehistory, before the advent of complex land life, you've got small multicelled organisms growing into which were filter feeding either minerals directly out of the ocean or to create their bodies. Like today we have mollusks. Some mollusks exhibit brains. They can move to an area, and what is the first thing they do? Once they attach themselves and can keep feeding and build up a process where they can sustain themselves, it's no longer apt to the context of their survival to have a brain, so they digest their own brain. You can see other creatures that have got into a niche and they have not changed greatly because they have stayed in a particular niche. There is no reason, no rationale for them to change. In fact, they're in some ways hedging their bets so that they could develop into other niches and higher life forms later on. They're just waiting for other life forms that are suppressing their evolution in some cases to play their destiny out. You know, human beings could be one of those species in a sense. You know, but when you look at the early oceans, as of say in the era of trilobites, you've got an almost completely carnivorous, or not carnivorous, but predatory system. There was a community of animals in the sense that there were many animals who are relying on each other for survival, but it's all through predation, through a food chain. And it's very, very strict. You've got sea scorpions and other sort of nasty animals, you know, it's preying on each other, which are invertebrates. You know, what you see now in the kind of predatory behaviour of solitary insects and parasitic insects and other things is a kind of throwback to that time. And of course, plants were evolving into to try and bring about greater evolutionary strength in them for their progeny. And as single-celled animals were on land were developing, you had a situation where before photosynthesis, before the movement of oxygen into the atmosphere, the actual level of oxygen was quite low. Now, as you get into a situation where there is an oxygenated environment, most of the life on Earth was actually wiped out by this over time. But oxygen allowed a whole new range of animals and plants to develop over the course of evolution. So the first few billion years of evolution I've condensed down into 7 minutes. Let's get to the main topic. Before the rise of the dinosaurs, there were already complicated, highly developed species of animals, which we would refer to as the forerunners of mammals, or basically mammals who exhibited reptilian aspects in their biology. I mean, throwbacks to not necessarily throwbacks, but animals that are in a niche where those traits have been an advantage and have been retained, such as the echidna or other animals that are about in Australia, have retained those, and you can sort of get a picture of what those were. Now, the rise of the forerunners of birds, which dinosaurs became, were fast bipedal carnivorous animals, you know, predators. You can see that in mammal, like reptile societies, if I might be so bold as to use that term, there is already the development of a herd system, but that is because of a very negative aspect of predation. It's purely defensive, and it's probably, in the sense of what we can see from where floods and chaos and other things have happened, quite a loose idea of a herd system. As the innovations that led to what we think of as dinosaurs, the coelurosaurs, the fast-moving animals, were sort of biological innovations. Why did all these? Why did I skip forward from the amphibious age to mammal-like reptiles to dinosaurs? Because all those animals were following plants and invertebrates onto the land in terms of the amphibian age.